So 12:30 Saturday. You know, as an Arsenal fan, my team's at the top.
Yeah, man, to a storyteller.
City I'm just doing my job. You know what I mean? City are chasing us for the title. You would hope that another top team could slow them down a bit, put a little bit of pressure. No, these fools capitulate.
How wrong was we, bro? we was excited though. I was excited. 1-0.
1-0 up. We was cheering.
You see when that goal went in?
Buzzing.
If you had a camera in my house, you see when that goal went in, you'd think that I've been standing in the copper end all my life. The way I celebrated my front room, bruv.
Singing, never walk alone, everything, bro. I was with you, bruv.
If there was a Liverpool shirt around, I would award it. No, I'm joking. Never. But guys, talk to me, man. Seriously, what's
you know what, right? When we went ahead, I knew what was coming in the second half. And I'll tell you why. Because City always do this. You shock them in the first half. They go in the changing room. It's like Pep starts gripsing man up and telling him to wake up. And they literally come out in the second half a completely different team. It's like they just turn the screw. The pressure goes through the roof and they just obliterate teams. They've done it against, was it Villa at the end of the season? These are just notable times they've done it. They've done it against us before. They've done it against other teams as well this season where halftime people are panicking and I'm sitting there opening up my betting app thinking, all right, is the price good enough to slap on City winning? Because this is just normal for them.
But it's the manner of it though, Keith. So you look at the team you've got. You're not having a great season, right? But people still have an expectation that a team like yours, big games, big team, that you're going to turn up and put in a certain type of performance.
Yeah, and like I sent the screenshot to the group, like in the mini league of the top 6 teams against each other, we're top of it.
Yeah.
I think on Saturday, even though we went 1-0 up, we were the second best team.
Yeah,
I think we were quite lucky to get to half time at 1-0. And I think on Saturday, we met a City team where 95% of their players were playing at 9 or 10. And I don't think that's happened that many times for City this season. And I think we were just the unfortunate team. Like, we've been quite critical of Jack Grealish since his move to City. I think he was the best player on the pitch by far.
Mahrez not playing, no?
No, Grealish was the best player.
Grealish was
I think Grealish was the best player on the pitch.
No,
but that's me saying Mahrez was a 9, so Grealish was a 10. Mahrez was a 9 or 9.5. De Bruyne was a 9. John Stones was dropping into midfield, popping balls around. Henderson and them man for fun. We just turned up and we played against a better team. Like,
yeah, it was mad.
And I think where Liverpool are at a point in their season, or I say a point in the season, it's been shown all season in certain games that if a team comes out and puts it on us, we capitulate, and that's what happened.
I mean, you had 4 shots.
All right, mate. Now he's turning up to Joe.
4. I'm just trying to quantify the.
It's just disappointing, man.
I mean, they had 17 shots.
But the thing is, like, for you, you're saying it's disappointing because you had something riding it because of who you support.
So
like,
it wasn't disappointing for you?
But I've been seeing this all season.
But what was it disappointing for you then?
Not particularly. Like, it's never good to lose a game. But when you, like I said, when you see how Liverpool's pattern of play this season, it's not surprising.
Doesn't mean it can't be disappointed. Just because you expect it doesn't mean the disappointment doesn't.
Oh yeah, like I said, no one likes losing, etc. But you know what I mean.
And Grealish is the last defender, you know, tackling Salah.
Now he's the best English player in the world. That one tackle, that's all they needed. That's all they needed to see.
Yeah.
When he was doing that, he was moving like Maldini.
Bro, I've seen the pundits, starting to click now. He's listening to Pep now. He's got it now. All for that one tackle.
To be fair, you watched the game. Guys went in 1-1 at half time. Yes, Man City was still better in the first half, but it just felt like when that second goal went in, the body language changed. Like the stuffing was knocked out of everyone.
And when did that happen?
Doing what they wanted to do. And
when did that happen last? Real Madrid, same thing.
Yeah.
Early goal, second half, heads drop.
Because I actually think,
at
first I thought they could smash and grab a draw here. Like if the second half was like the first half, I actually thought you lot could smash and grab a draw. Like, you know, be under pressure. But things just went crazy.
Whose fault was that?
Well,
I say it's Klopp's, to be fair.
No, do you know what?
No plan B.
Well,
I don't know. Look him turning the screw.
Wait, before you get to the plan B bit, he did try to make some small tweaks. He pushed Trent up against on Man City's left side, but again that left lots of space in behind. And the thing about Pep teams, they don't even take 5 or 10 minutes to punish you. When you make a tweak and you leave space, it's like he sends something on his phone and it just all goes through to their brain and they just pick it up straight away. Because then they just exploit that space behind Trent. It was just crazy. So I think he didn't have an overall plan B. You're right. He didn't switch the whole formation, but he did try and make tweaks, try and close down certain gaps, certain avenues. But it was in that middle of the park. That's where you lot lost it.
I'll be honest with you, and to Keith's point, I don't think any kind of tactics that Klopp would have employed would have made a difference. I think City were just too good that day, number one. And number two, Liverpool as a whole and individually are just not on par this season. I think there are certain parts of certain players within the team, like Mark said, Van Dijk, Trent, Thiago wasn't even available. He's injured. Fabinho, thank you. That's what I was saying. Fabinho, Henderson. There are certain players that you can pick out, and if parts of the whole are not clicking, then the whole is just not. It's not going to work as a team. But like I said, I don't think any tactics, any changes, any tweaks. I don't think anything other than literally parking the bus and going 4-1. 4-1-5 or something. It's just, do you know what I mean? Or 5-5-4.
Pep went to a back, no matter what, it went to a back three.
I would have tried that. You've still got the players to break. Why not go?
No, but they don't play like that.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. They just don't play like that. They play one way. In my eyes, that's what.
Them kind of scorelines are likely to happen when you play a team like a Liverpool because they're not going to just park the bus. If you played Newcastle, Man City might have only scored one goal.
Exactly.
And I think Klopp knows when he's getting a poor performance from his team. And I've said it a couple of times, he has struggled with in-game management at times. I think if you go back 2-3 years, when you go out and blitz the team,
there's
2-3-0, you don't really need to tweak anything.
Yeah.
But there's been a few times when you're like, right, we need to do something now. You need to show your managerial credentials. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but there's been a few times where you look, in-game, what are you going to do? Okay.
But has he got the tools to change it though? Because again, I think yesterday, where someone might have made drastic changes is in the middle. That's where you lot really lost that game. That the way Gundogan, KDB, Stones, Rodri were picking up possession in there and kind of and then setting up the attacks out wide. But he hasn't got.
But we know that's going to happen. We actually know that's going to happen.
Yeah. But remember, tweak doesn't necessarily have to be personnel. It's about what you're doing in the middle of the park.
Right.
You can say, right, instead of it just being Fab sitting, Hendo drop in with Fab and be a bit more protective of the back four.
Right. No, I agree. But to your point earlier.
And this is where, like he said, this is where you're paid. This is what you're paid to do. You're paid to show us that you can manage. And this is where in-game management is so vital. So it's not necessarily about bringing on certain players. And yes, we do have players. And even if you feel like you don't, your job as a manager is to know how to get the best out of the players that you do have. I might not have someone that can go on and do what Modric does and dictate the tempo of the game, but I might have someone that knows how to win the ball. I might have someone that knows how to track from side to side. Yeah,
look, I just think you're right. And I think in-game management is a combination of things, right? Yes, it's how you set up the team, it's what you tell them to do in what situations, but also the players that are going to execute that are also important. And that's why sometimes you do see managers saying, no, actually, this is a total flop. I'm changing 3 man on 55 minutes. You know what I mean?
Literally.
You know, and I just think Klopp knows we're in April now. Yeah. He hasn't got what he needs in the midfield to change it up and increase the quality, not the performance. Someone can come on and perform well, but increase the quality to a level where it makes a difference against that midfield. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. So he could have tweaked it, but the only person on the bench that I would have said, you know what, if he could have started, it might have made a difference was Núñez, because he's so annoying. He's like Robbie Savage came back as a striker. He's annoying like that. Not the way he plays, but if you're a defender, Núñez, he's fast, he's strong, he's got that nasty attitude. I think he would have helped. But anyone else, to be honest, from a quality perspective and how they play this season, I don't think he has that. And I think that's what you guys need to fix next season. He needs those tools.
I think good managers who have belief in their system and know exactly what they want from their players, they know exactly what kind of players they want. Look at Pep when he came into City. He gave them chances. Yeah. You can't play in my system. You can't do what I ask you or need of you. At the door.
Well, look at Cancelo. season.
Klopp don't even. The thing with Klopp, I don't think he does that. I don't think he has that bite in him where he's got the he's come in and he's gone, right, this is the system. This is what I need. These are the kind of players I need. I think what he tries to do is just make whatever he has fit, and that, to his point, to can be quite detrimental in the sense
we've discussed it a few times. Like,
he's only done it like 3 times with Alisson,
Yeah.
Van Dijk, and Fabinho. We needed Fabinho when he first 2 seasons, amazing, and he dropped off. But John's point many times, we haven't brought in the right areas.
Exactly.
Well, and people, to your point, I think it's a bit Wenger-esque in that respect, right? Look, no disrespect to anyone, but Keita and Ox should not still be at Liverpool, taking up squad space and wage space. Like, they should not be there. We, as an average fan on the street, we saw this 2 years. We saw this 2 years ago. You know, it's things like that. So yeah, I do think he reminds me a little bit of Wenger in that when he believes in certain man, that's it. And we can't say he hasn't got the money because you guys have spent money, right? You bought Gakpo, you bought Nunes, so there must be an element where he is saying, I still have a certain level of belief in next players. Because at some point, even if you can't get value for a player, you have to just get them off the wage bill, mutual agreement, just to get them off the wage bill, and then you got space.
Did you hear his post-match press conference?
No, go on.
Do you think he's close to being sacked?
No.
No.
However, to T's point earlier, if there is a mutual agreement situation in the summer, I won't be surprised.
But did you hear what he said?
You talk about today's one or after
the one? Was it today he said it?
Today he was like, "Oh, you surprised to see me?" Like as a joke.
Exactly, because he was saying something along the lines of, maybe it's because of what I've done the last 3 years that I'm still here.
Oh, yeah.
Credit.
How long has he been at Liverpool?
8 years now?
8 years.
It's going to be 9.
Yeah, 8 years in October. 9 years.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
We getting it?
No, nothing.
Is he doing that?
I mean, it's
close to 10, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I said, if he gets to 10 years, 1 CO, 1 league.
And
but you know what?
The Liverpool guys that's round us are saying his job is safe.
Yes, I think Klopp, unless we have a drastic freefall, Klopp leaves when he wants to.
What is this?
And when this was Wenger,
what is this?
I heard a lot of rumbling.
Drastic freefall.
When it was Wenger,
This is not a drastic freefall.
I'm thinking, what is this?
No, I don't think it's an off season in it, but like what we were saying, I don't think you're far away. It's a couple signings, isn't it?
I don't think Klopp can have another
major,
season like
but
He can't.
I remember.
If he have another season like this, I don't think he makes it to the next season.
He can't. The fans will
But I
want
think
his
that'll
head
be
as well.
because of I don't think they'll fire him. I think he'll be like, you know what, this isn't working, etc. And like to your point, I know you're saying, 10 years, I only won 1 league and 1 CL.
No.
Like you got to look who we come up against, innit?
Here we go.
I don't understand how.
But you beat them though, innit? You beat them once.
So that means if Arsenal win the league, Arteta's in the Hall of Fame, bro.
So you don't think if Arteta wins the league this season, it's a massive achievement?
I thought it's a major, massive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is.
If
one of the biggest.
Only wins that league in 10 years, he can get out, bruv. Get out. You know me already. I'll be there. I'll be there.
He will
Fair
be
enough,
saying out.
But you might not win it for like another 23 years. So
10 years.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Wow.
You ain't 30, though.
Huh?
Yeah?
Imagine a whole 30 years and he's got chest.
You know what?
You're not helping you, man, you know.
No,
A whole 30 years he's got chest.
But honestly, I think the way the game is today, FSD, your owners are businessmen, right? So they're about the community and all of that. But, and they tried to get invested for the club recently, etc. Honestly, I don't think Klopp lasts another season like this. I think there'll be a conversation, a mutual agreement. You know, you guys are 8th with 11 games to go, right? You're 8 points off 4th. It's not mathematically impossible. It could happen. It's not an impossibility.
Would you guys say, it's time to go?
Time for Klopp to go.
Yeah, next season, if it was kind of the same.
So if
outside of the top 4,
if it was exactly the same as this, this time next season, I wouldn't bite the bullet now. I'd give him till the end of the season and then say,
hold it.
Yeah.
Remember he said drastic freefall, bro. He doesn't think this season's a drastic freefall, bro.
No, it's not.
But it's not.
Huh?
It's not.
But for a Liverpool,
it's an off season.
You're taking the mick.
No, you can't. Do you know why you can't say it's a drastic freefall?
They were almost
happened first time.
Yeah, you have to wait until next season. and then see.
Yeah.
But they were 10th and 9th at one point, you know?
Yeah, but remember
they're not-
Chelsea's done. Remember
That's
Chelsea's
a
done this
drastic
before.
free-fall, bro.
Nah, I don't
Chelsea's done this before,
I don't think
Wow.
so. I don't think so.
And
Yeah, remember
Sprung back.
Chelsea
and they
won the
spun
league
back. Yeah,
and finished 10th.
But
or
I
9th.
have a general issue with this notion that you can't just like lock things off when things are going well. You have to wait for it to get really catastrophic before you make a change. Like, he's got a lot of credit in the bank. I don't think it's mad to say, you know what, before this, we'll take a risk. Before this gets any worse, or you know what, you've been in 9 years, maybe it's time for a freshen up. But in football, in football, you will keep your job until it goes really, 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 really bad. But actually, you could just be like, you know what, you're not still at the level you was before. It seems like you're moving away from that. Let me stop the bleeding now, so the distance back to the way you were is shorter for the next manager. But in football, the mentality is to wait. He's got credit in the bank. Wait. Then when it's really bad, chop.
Yeah, you touched on that last week. I don't think sacking Klopp just because you want to stop it before it gets too bad is a good idea, because let's assume in the summer they give him all the money and all the tools to go and get his players.
Yeah.
He might go back to the normal Klopp, the normal Liverpool.
No, I expect it. I'm not expecting Liverpool. I'm bad at these, lot. I'm not expecting Liverpool to do this again next season. I expect about 5 centre midfielders to turn up here. At Liverpool straight at Melwood in the summer.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I expect the squad to be CM, DM, CM. You know.
I feel like it's going to be mad next season. I think
Next
it's going to be
season
seriously tough for
will
everyone.
depend on.
Everyone, yeah.
Talk to me September 1st when the transfer window closed,
Yeah.
and I'll let you know whether we're going to do season or not.
Yeah. No,
That's it.
I'll be very surprised. I'm not saying Liverpool win the league next year, but I'll be very surprised to be in April next year, and we're talking about Liverpool being 8th with 11
No
games
cups.
to go if he's been given the players. You understand what I
I
mean?
think they'll swap positions with Tottenham
and get to 5th.
and just be in the top 4s.
Mix.
Kind of, yeah.
But that's still an improvement in this season.
yeah,
That's what I
cool.
mean.
But I just think that will be
Mm.
the switch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's